Hello everybody, welcome on back to Harmony, the Fall of Reverie, right here on youtube.com/OnosaurusRex. I enjoyed the first hour that I played yesterday, so if you want to go watch that, check that out, come back to this video, it'll be here. I enjoyed the first hour of it, so we're going to play through Chapter 2. I'm not sure exactly how long all of these acts are, because I did go in and look at the achievements. I unlocked 2 of them yesterday, First Steps and Know-It-All, which are very common achievements. And I did collect 1 of the Bliss Crystals, but I did notice that there are like Act 1, 2, 3, 4 Oh, 4 acts. For some reason I thought there were... Oh, there must be a 5th act. Okay, all Harmony acts. Okay, never mind. So yeah, we're going to see how long this next step takes. Maybe try to get through the end of Act 1, but I'm not 100% sure how long that is. I looked at a couple of YouTube videos that are like full playthroughs, and because the game is fairly linear, with how like the scenes are gonna, it's not like you're gonna get to a level and look around for 5 minutes where someone took 2.5, if that makes sense. So they had it between like 9 to 10 hours, so I'd guess that each of the acts is 2 hours ish, which would put us about halfway through Act 1, but we'll see what happens. Ideally I would like to finish this game, but who knows with me. I don't know. I'm surprisingly bad at finishing games. But let's jump back into Harmony here. The Fall of Reverie. I do remember how to say that today. I was like, only took a day. Don't know how to say anything in this game. Fantastic. I love how much voice acting there is in this game. It's super helpful for someone like me who is making content. I'm sure that isn't applicable to everyone, but I do love not having to just read for an hour straight, you know? All right, so let's go into Act 1, Chapter 2. Here we have what I'm assuming is the act situation, but I don't know how we're going to pick up all this stuff. But yeah, let's jump into Act 1, Chapter 2. If you're curious, this is kind of what it's looking like. It's going to kind of start from here, pick up a different kind of crystal, maybe kind of work our way over this way. Interesting. So let's do this. The eyeball symbol means that the node will trigger a revelation. Revelations unveil nodes are still invisible to Polly on the aggregate. See the links extending from the icon? They point to the nodes that will be revealed. Wait. The green? Oh, interesting. Okay. Alright. Let's jump back in here. New videos every single day. 6 p.m. Pacific time. 6 a.m. Pacific time, I should say. Baseball at 6 p.m. if applicable. Be sure to scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll be notified when I post new videos. And check out Arcade Spirits. If you like something like this, check out Arcade Spirits. I gotta put them into a playlist, but... I look up at the night sky. Clouds floating by, obscuring the newly revealed stars. Familiar but unknowable. Beautiful but ever-changing.
I came out here for like 2 hours last week.
Hold on. Seema's Creek. Unfortunately, Alma's only public beach has been closed since the 90s. Because of the toxic water that is dumped into our sea, swimming on this side of the island is strictly forbidden. Since the Green Hills Agreement of 2026, we're in Sonic Land? Mono Concern has been hard at work to rid our coasts of pollution. It is confident that it will be able to clear our beaches by the end of the decade. A brand new water park near Seema's Creek will create new job opportunities. Oh, good. Yeah, because I'd like to be a service worker at a water park. Yikes. It's new job opportunities. Construction on the park should be completed just as our shores are reopened to the public.
I believe it.
They suck you in, don't they? Especially when the sea's calm and you can see them reflected down there.
I look over at her, neck craned upwards, half a smile on her lips. She seems calmer. I'm glad.
All right. Time to rip off the bandage.
Oh, that's all caught.
Let's go see Laszlo.
I'll be at your side.
Ah, I put the cord in the worst spot. I didn't realize how dead my headset was.
I know you will.
Hell yeah. She lowers her gaze from the heavens to look me in the eye. As a man, there it is, plugs his headset in.
You haven't seen him the last few days? Full on denial. It's killing me to see him like this.
Sounds rough. But we'll find a way. Right? Even if we have to outdrink him with his own imported beers.
That wins me another smile. Clearer this
They
time.
are so expensive. And I'm broke, just so you know.
Okay, I am broke as well. We walk through the streets of our childhood, laughter bouncing off the old familiar walls. We chat as we go. We're sad that one store closed, amazed that another has managed to stay open. We laugh, a godsend considering the circumstances. But the further we talk, the worse the flickers get. Images of other places, impossible places. Reverie. Birds flutter about my head, phasing in and out of reality, and a kindly voice calls my name. And then he's there, in front of me.
Greetings. Oh, did I startle you?
Where am I? Who are you? Another aspiration?
Exactly. I'm Bond.
James Bond, I'm sure everyone made that joke. The kindest of all the aspirations, Bond is the connection between all things and strength in numbers. Selfishness is a foreign concept to Bond. He lives through the eyes and feelings of others. Bond was once a multitude, but resigned himself to becoming a single being for the convenience of the other aspirations. This is mainly because he needs them to exist and force the connections on which he thrives. Communication between the aspirations has greatly improved thanks to Bond, and he introduced the concepts of equality and inclusivity to dreams.
My siblings keep forgetting about me. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
No. I guess I'm getting used to it. I feel at home, somehow.
Naturally. My path is one of community, friendship, and empathy.
Bond's Marsh. The once vibrant, thriving jungle has been quiet for a few cycles now. There, wrapped in shadows, swarms of life forms live and multiply. Bond knows each and every soul and secret that dwells within this boundless marsh, and he cares for them all. His mind swims through their energy, breeding new lives each day. Although this cosmos has lost much of its vital energy, Bond kindly watches over it like a shepherd, welcoming vagrant dreams as well.
My mangrove forest is a place of warmth and safety. And I am an excellent host. The journey before you, Harmony, is one with many roads and even more destinations. I am here to guide you towards those that lead to understanding, not conflict.
I know this won't be as simple as that, unfortunately.
Oh, you mean your mother. I know you will find a way to, see eye to eye with her.
Fat chance, but sure, let's pretend that's even remotely possible.
I don't wish to keep you. Before you go, I have but one piece of advice. Remain mindful of others.
Okay. I usually do, unless I hate the character,
Then
but
your
alright.
journey may be one of discovery, not destruction.
I mean, destruction, pretty cool. So let's introduce some chaos to this. Before I can reply to this newest aspiration, I blink and I'm back on it, Antia.
Turns out he wasn't even talking to me. Can you believe it? What an idiot. Well, we're here.
She's right. Laszlo's bar. I give her a reassuring nudge, and we head to the counter. All right, now what do we got? Laszlo's Bar, one of numerous bars built under tram lines in the early 70s. Run by a colorful bartender for over 20 years, it has earned quite the reputation. Under City Council's Community Enhancement Program, tiny bars such as this one flourished around Atina's tram stations. However, they slowly disappeared in the 10s and were replaced by larger automated multi-story breweries. This bar is among the last of its kind, importing beverages from neighboring islands and coasts. This place hasn't changed at all, except it's a little messier. A lot messier, in fact. But the rest, the ramshackle seating, the sticky counter, the rumble of the tram line overhead, this place always felt like a second home to me. And there, tending bar...
Polly, you're here. I'm so glad you're finally here.
Laszlo. He leaves the counter and comes over. Before I can react, he's grabbed me a beer hug. He's grabbed a bear hug? Beer hug? What did I say? Grabbed me in a bear hug. My phone jams up into my ribs, and I force a smile.
My word, it's good to see you, Polly. You look like a strong breeze would knock you over.
Laszlo, born April 13th, 1974, former nurse and owner of a well-established bar in Alma. Widower of Alex Nataliza, with whom he had one daughter, Veruca Cesar? Met Ursula while on duty at St. James Hospital. Was one of the first community members to join her in renovating the Naiads. Briefly sat on city council in the 90s. Became his granddaughter Nora's legal guardian when Veruca Cesar chose not to raise her child. Refused multiple offers from Mono Concern to franchise his bar.
Are you eating? Here, look, I've got snacks behind the bar.
Would anyone like a peanut? Nora rolls her eyes. She wasn't wrong. His smile is too wide, his voice a bit too loud. Laszlo's a jolly fellow, but this is a bit too jolly for the situation. Why? Oh. Distant objectives. Several objective nodes have been revealed. It will be impossible to gather the crystals required to complete both objectives. You will have to make a decision. Will you follow Bliss's path or Bond's instead? Okay. You haven't seen each other in ages. Take it easy. Serious stuff can wait. Bond, a family tree is a fragile thing. Be careful how you handle it, Harmony. Ask Nora about Laszlo. Hold off for now. Codex. So, if you click on Seamus Creek, is this kind of what you just unlock? Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ask Nora about Laszlo. Laszlo bustles off to grab some unneeded snacks, sending an errant beer bottle skittering across the cobbles.
What's up with him?
He's been like this ever since Ursula disappeared. It's unbearable. He pretends everything's fine, like she's gonna waltz through the door any minute. Whenever I bring it up, he gets angry. So, I stopped. He has his own way of showing his feelings, I guess.
Oh, okay. Cheers and worries. It is interesting how short some of these little things are. With Laszlo fussing about behind the counter, Nora smiles and goes over to chat with some regulars. There are a few faces I recognize, names bubbling up from the fog of forgotten memory. Laszlo's friends. They look older, shrunken almost. Snippets of conversation drift my way. He's not been the same these last few days. What's wrong with him? I turn my head away. I don't need to hear any more. They're worried too. I need to do something. This is an inevitable node. You have no choice but to play this type of node when it becomes available. Yeah. Must be played to unlock other nodes. Okay, interesting. Oh, interesting. So you're just gonna like... Alright. Alright, well it doesn't matter because we're working... Laszlo leads the conversation. So this is... I try to strike up a conversation with him, but he immediately launches into a discussion of almost politics and the price of importing beer. I let him do the talking. It feels good to hear him talk about mundane things.
Did Nora tell you about the storm a while back?
I've seen pictures. How bad was it?
Bit of flooding around the island, but the walls held and the roof barely leaked at home. Nora helped board up the bar. We had a good laugh at all the drowned drones the next day.
Hell yeah. You know, that's something I actually hadn't considered. If there's like severe weather and a bunch of drones are out there. Remember drones?
Spotted some MK folks trying to scoop them up before they floated out to sea.
He enjoys that. Laszlo is a huge fan of that.
Competitive drone fishing.
Next up on ESPN 8 The Ocho, competitive drone fishing. He smiles, and his face relaxes, somehow.
The sport where nobody wins.
Getting electrocuted every 10 minutes? Let's see, a helping hand needs support even if you won't admit it. Why don't you show him the way? If he's too shy to talk in front of Nora, you should give him some privacy. He needs support. I don't know. Part of me feels like if it were me, I would just kind of like not worry. But I also know that like this is too important. Let's go with a helping hand. This is going to be tough. Laszlo is open and generous, but when it comes to his feelings, not so much. Could be hard to get through to him. I wait until he's busy with a customer to talk to Nora.
Okay, here's the plan. We have to get his guard down. He'll stay like this forever. And that's no good for anyone. So, it's time for some bar work.
What?
Just follow my lead.
I rise and walk behind the bar as confidently as I can. Nora follows close after
Come
me.
on, move over.
What are you two up to?
Tending bar. Judging from the state of this place, you can use all the help you can get.
The place is looking a little untidy, I suppose. A bit busy, you know?
Looks like a bomb's gone off, Grandpa.
The nerves on this girl.
But he smiles. The banter's enjoyable,
I
after
love
all.
you too.
The X icon means the next node will trigger a revocation? It will block access to nodes, to the other nodes forever. Okay. Select a node with a revocation to see the nodes that will be blocked. Oh. So it's just those? Okay, so you have to kind of... Talk about naiads. Even if he seemed to avoid the place, he may have things to say. Revoke. Oh, okay, consequences. Okay, gotcha. I see. Okay, now I see where the X is. I was not seeing that correctly. Let's talk about the naiads. I start to tidy up, grabbing discarded bar rags, bottles, and stale-smelling glasses. Nora looks at me confused. Hands full, I jerk my head towards a pile of dirty bar mats. Wordlessly, she collects them, shoveling them into the tiny washer. A smile appears on her face.
The Naiads is looking good.
The storm hit hard, so we had to fix and paint a lot of stuff in there.
He takes a glass from the bar and begins to clean it vigorously. I see a flash of fear in his eyes as they dart towards Nora. There's something unsaid here. That's highly unusual for Laszlo.
Nora, careful with the glasses.
I know.
But thank you. I probably needed some help over here.
I could swear he was about to say as well. Let him talk. He's ready to open up to you. And so then we're just totally over here. After a moment of silence, Laszlo places the glass back on the counter. He stares ahead, lost in thought. When he speaks, his voice is tight and cautious. Not the same man we've been seeing so far tonight.
I don't want to worry you girls. Yeah. I knew something was wrong. She'd been acting off for weeks.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
He lowers his eyes. Looks like he's wrestling with something.
Didn't want to involve you. We had enough problems already with the money and MK. I'm sorry.
Grandpa, it's okay. We understand.
They were our problems. I thought I could deal with them myself, and, well, time to figure out what comes next.
It's been a long day, but there's still some things that need to be said. Night has fallen. The place is almost empty, apart from Laszlo's friends and the phone browsing Nora. A lot of texts. I'm curious, but it's not my place to investigate. At least not now.
It has been a day.
Definitely a day.
Tomorrow's creeping up on us already.
He nods his head at me, but this time it's genuine. There's a faint sparkle in his eyes. His armor isn't gone, but the straps have loosened. It's a start. Oh, interesting. So I don't get to... Okay, it's locked. We decide to stay for a while, Nora for the atmosphere, and me to see if I can pry off the last of Laszlo's armor. Lazolos? Maybe I'm pronouncing that name completely incorrectly, sorry. Then I get an idea to get him to talk.
Why don't we grab a drink with your friends over there, Laszlo?
No, I am saying it right, because she literally just said, okay, cool. He hesitates for a second before grabbing a big bottle from the fridge.
Sure.
We join Laszlo's posse around the far table. Older folks from Antia and abroad. It all feels so normal. Derogatory jokes at Laszlo's expense, talk of the island and of Alma. MK, the new neighborhood they razzed and rebuilt. Someone mentions that Ursula's fought the construction for years, and it happens.
I need to come clean, folks. Ursula's been gone for a few days. She's disappeared.
This is news to the rest of the group.
I feel responsible. And I'm sorry if, I hurt you.
Around the table, people show their support. Hands are shaken. Promises are made to get out and look for her, ask questions. It's all quite moving. And when things calm down, his eyes meet mine. Is that gratitude?
The truth is, I knew it was coming. That something was coming, at least. Things have felt off for weeks. At home, here. A feeling in the air. Again, sorry to all of you. Nora, first of all. Sorry. I just... It's hard. I didn't want anyone else to bear the burden.
Nora smiles gently, strides to the chair next to her grandfather, and she leans over. She rests her head on his considerable shoulder. For the first time since I arrived, I see a genuine smile cross his face. The objective nodes may generate consequences that impact later chapters of the story. Oh, okay. This will give you access to entire branches of the future and cut you off from others. Keep this in mind when planning your route on the Agrigol. End of chapter. Because of the choices you made when dealing with Laszlo, you made great progress towards an outcome. You have chosen the path laid out before you by an aspiration, but the future might still be in your hands. Outcomes may have greater consequences than objectives. Will you stay on the same path, or would you rather change the course of the future? Whoa. This one's kind of cool. Oh my goodness. I do love how this is like broken down. We're basically like, this is like what a Telltale game looks like, right? Or like a Don't Nod game where it's like, you make some choices and you go over here, but then it kind of like moves back toward the middle to hit like a central plot point. It's just kind of how it goes about. Then you kind of veer off to the side, and then you have like, it feels like such a boiled down, like in your face way of doing it. To just be like, yeah, here's the game board, figure it out, do whatever you want to do. Okay, so that is chapter 3. We're working towards there. What I'm curious about is those next 3 points. Alright, let's jump into Polly's room. A new day dawns. Consciousness returns slowly as I open my eyes and feel, what? And as I open my eyes, they feel like hot marbles rolling in their sockets. The shed. Originally built as an elevator to bring materials to the Naiads, the building has endured. Its structure has changed a lot over the years, growing from simple shack to proper house. It is infamous for being a potential hazard, extending over the sea unlike any other buildings on Antia. But it somehow became part of the local folklore. Eventually, City Council gave up on trying to close it down. To this day, it is one of Alma's quirkiest sightings. Okay, so we're still missing some of those. Mythology, citizens. Oh, we're not necessarily missing. Okay, there's a lot more. All right. Yesterday was more intense than I'd imagined. Reconnecting with Laszlo took an emotional toll I'm not sure either of us was ready for. I checked the clock. Past 10. Late. 5 more minutes won't hurt. But as my eyes close, there's a flicker, and I'm back in reverie. I open them, and I'm at home, in bed. This is becoming intolerable. I wait a few moments to see if this sensation returns, but it leaves me for now. It leaves me be for now. Time to get up.
Are you sure you saw it in here?
Yes, it was by the sink. I was listening to my podcast.
Researching about the Oxyons, are you?
I'm sure there's a connection between them and Ursula and... Oh! Morning, sleepyhead.
Looks like the two of them have been up for a while. For Laszlo, that's not a surprise, but Nora's usually a night owl. Breakfast is all laid out. Banana crepes, hazelnut and sesame paste, fresh mango, my favorites.
How are you two this awake already?
Already? It's nearly lunch.
Grandpa, tell her!
Tell me what?
No, you do it.
We have a lead! On Ursula.
No, a lead on your Ursula. The next node's barrier was removed after you reached last chapter's objective. The other is forever inaccessible to you. You might not see the consequences of an objective node until much later in the story. Laszlo opened up a bit. Laszlo spoke openly about Ursula to the people of Alma. Oh, okay, so... yeah, that one's locked, okay. Interesting. One bond crystal, okay. And I forget they reset at the end of the thing. Interesting. Takes a few seconds for my mind to adjust to what I just heard. We drank quite a lot last night. Seems that Laszlo's friends were adamant he needed to party hard. Adamant. Being an adult means you can skip therapy for a good old all-nighter binge. It's been ages since I've been hungover. Alright, just focus.
What's happening? Spill!
Last night, one of my friends reminded me about a girl at the Naiads.
She came to meet with Ursula. Several times, in fact. I asked who she was, and your mother said she was a journalist, interested in publishing some of her poems.
Which is weird. Nobody publishes poetry nowadays.
I have to admit that Ursula hasn't sold a single text in decades. Anyway, I didn't push it. Assumed your mother would tell me the truth when she was ready. But then
she disappeared off the face of the earth.
Anyway, I mentioned this girl to my regulars. She's not the sort of person you forget easily. So, Jack thought he recognized the description, and this morning...
He dropped this off. Well, show her.
Laszlo grabs something off the counter and hands it to me. A magazine. It's a local publication, anti-corporate, anti-fascist. Mono Concern seems to be the theme of this issue, unsurprisingly.
Second page, editor's column.
There's a lengthy piece on the inside cover. It skewers MK, their actions on Antia, their checkered history. At the bottom, there's a photo and a single name.
Jade.
Ooh, that's her. I think she's quite famous around here. Badass type.
Excellent. I'm ready to fall in love.
Sounds like she's got a new fan.
Jack also told us the printer's address. Might be a good start.
We've got some mutuals in common too. Maybe we could hit them up instead. They'll know how to contact her for sure.
We've got options. That's a good start. A really good start. Okay. Casualty. The locked symbol indicates that a node is locked. You need to reach the key that opens it. Seek for key icons on the agregol. Okay. Select the node you want to play to find its key. All right. An underground printing room sounds cool. Nora won't have trouble asking them for info. Interesting. So you can... oh. So it's... okay, so find Jade's friend. Explore the printing room. I think I actually kind of want to go this way if I can. Her business contacts are more likely to have forwarding addresses and such. I decide to focus on the other lead.
Let's check the printers.
All right. I'll get my keys and we'll head out.
Let's go.
Castello Road. To an antique shop. Oh, hell yeah. This place isn't far. It's a ramshackle house that for all intents and purposes, appears to be abandoned. Still, when we rap on the door, someone opens up. Someone who is most certainly not happy to see us. She looks to be about my age. As soon as Laszlo mentions Jade, she jams a finger in her lips and points to the sky. Several drones hover above the street, searching for something or just on patrol. MK delivery drones. Drones have been used by the Monzo concern since the 2020s and the future of B2B and B2C, and are the future. These multi-purpose machines have seamlessly replaced cars and trucks on Antina. With thousands of units in flight daily, drones are now an integral part of life on Atina. An omnipresent sight that buzzes night and day. They help workers with their daily tasks. Their cameras and microphones allow Monoconcern to monitor the well-being of the people of Antina, and deliver crucial messages in case of emergency. Go drones. Oh, if I just use the right stick, I can look at how far. Nora and I nod. I end up stroll a little way down the street. As soon as the drove moves on, Laszlo disappears inside.
Any idea what this Jade might have wanted with Ursula?
Is that suspicion I detect?
Come on. It's a little weird, right? A stranger at the Naiads. A journalist, of all things. And then my mother disappears.
If it were anyone else, yeah, sus. But this is Jade. She's got to be the most active activist on the island. Plus, she has, like, moral scruples.
Is it just me, or is Nora starting to sound like Jade's #1 fan?
I got a good feeling about this. About Jade.
You like Jade too? I'm supposed to like Jade. Fuck. We can't both be in love with her.
If we find her, she'll help if she can. I know it.
Do you? Laszlo emerges from the house and strides over, a big grin on his face. Okay. Ask about Jade? Ask about the printing room. Oh, conditions have 1 power crystal. I don't have that. Alright. Consequences. Reveal 1 node. Hold on. So if you select that. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. So if we pick that path, we're going to be blocked out of it because we didn't do this. But I don't have the power crystal, so we have to go and ask about Jade. Laszlo's back, but he's keeping quiet. He sticks his hands in his pockets, clearly enjoying our impatience.
Come on then, tell us.
The owner said she hadn't seen Jade in a while. Usually pops by every few days, but not anymore. She also said something was a bit off. Jade's fire was gone, or something like that. The mag was everything to her. And then, she stopped caring. Truth be told, the owner was more than a little spooked, worried. Thought Monoconcern might have caught Jade's scent.
This has got to be tied to Ursula.
I need to get Nora to chill out of
I
it.
don't know. It's all just a bunch of stuff happening at the same time right now. No solid links. Could be a coincidence, you know?
Skate Park is where we'll find her if she wants to be found. We should head over there. I'm interested in having a chat with this young woman everyone's so enamored with.
Okay, so then do this. We're walking through the streets. Laszlo's in front, a smile on his face. Nora and I are behind, trying to keep up with them.
So, did the owner know what Jade was working on? Might have something to do with why she was talking to Ursula.
She said, far as she could tell, Jade was on a big MK investigation. Something to do with a public health program? No specifics, though. Jade hadn't delivered the copy.
Nora almost shudders.
Nothing that could go wrong there.
Doesn't sound like anything Ursula would have a hand in.
I can sense something surrounding us, like a warm blanket. Is one of the aspirations trying to reach out to me? But as I try to focus on it, it disappears. Casualty. You have unlocked this node. You can now access it normally. Okay, but I can't do any of that, so... There's a shared charge between us, unconscious but evident. Each of us is looking over our shoulders more, checking the skies for drones, our surrounders for eavesdroppers, like a spy. On my own island.
Doesn't surprise me that your mother might be involved in something to do with that bloody company.
No, me neither. Remember those papers she wrote when I was a kid? MK didn't like those at all.
Ursula was protesting MK.
Not directly. Her work was all about ancient history, historical accounts, Oxyon stuff. MK didn't like any of that. But it was a very different beast back then. Barely a pop.
Either way, she was no fan of Monoconcern, or what it was doing to Atina. Her and Jade teaming up to take them down. Yeah, I can see that.
But without telling us? Your mother is a secretive person, sure, but she would have said something.
I turn to Nora. She looks and agrees. Or she looks like she agrees. Laszlo's backup plan. May be risky, but it could work. Losing crystals. Nodes can also make you lose crystals when you reach them. This node will make you lose 1 bond and 1 power crystal. Well, I don't have an option, but alright. We head to the skate park. The streets are quieter now, with rush hour long since over. A stray dog trots alongside us for a moment, sniffs my hand, then wanders off. Jade is a long shot, but she's our only shot. Besides, Laszlo claims he has a plan.
All right, out with it then.
Posters.
Posters. Of Ursula.
Exactly. Look, your mother may not be the best-known woman on this island, but she has connections. Hell, the Naiads is basically a community center, and everyone at the bar knows her. We get her face up everywhere, tell people to contact us. We're bound to get something back.
Nora and I share a glance. This feels good. It could
And if
work.
we do find this Jade, well, we could run an ad in that magazine of hers.
Use her network to spread the word even further.
Exactly.
That sounds like a pretty good way to piss off MK.
Yeah. But Jade's our best chance. If we get close to her, we get closer to MK as well.
The more we learn, the more Ursula's disappearance becomes shrouded in mystery. Was it really the result of politics? Did she get herself into something she couldn't get out of? And is creating a public scandal really the best way to find our answers? Local poet disappears. MK does nothing. They won't say or do anything. They've already been getting away with much, much worse.
Eyes on the prize. You're getting closer, right? You're making moves.
Yes, maybe Nora and Laszlo are right. Maybe this will work out.
That momentum going. Reverie still needs you.
Bliss suddenly becomes absorbed in her handheld console, focused on mashing 2 specific buttons as fast as possible. The glimpse of her undivided concentration is impressive, but it doesn't seem to be going as she planned.
No! Ugh. Can you try to wrap it up before I rage quit this game?
Bliss must know that I can't answer right now.
Also, you didn't hear this from me, but Power's getting all ceremonial about the truth situation.
I don't know what that means. I'd like to ask what that means, but I can't. And anyway, she's already gone. Right, so, Jade. When we get to the skate park, how should we approach her? Keep it straightforward. She may take me more seriously. I'll have one. Oh, shoot. I don't have any of these. Wait, hold on. Wait, I don't have any crystals. You know what? We're going to go ahead and keep it straightforward. I feel like if you try to come to her as a friend, it might be kind of insincere. Amadeus Skate Park. Skate Park was built decades ago, and this is the only park of its kind in Atina. It's always been and is a place for joy in Alma's youth. In the mid-10s, Monokonzern tried to buy this aging piece of architecture from the municipality, offering to modernize the facilities. When the offer was met with contempt by the local community, the corporation eventually agreed to leave it untouched. Since this unfortunate incident, Amadeus has also become a symbol of anti-Monokonzern activism. We arrive at the skate park and my heart sinks. It's deserted, not a single soul in sight. I'm about to suggest we come back later when I hear a squeak from Nora. It's Jade emerging from behind a half-pipe. She's a stranger to me, but there's no mistaking that posture. She looks exhausted. Simple and to the point. That's the way to do this.
Jade?
Oh, how cool is she? The young woman's guard is immediately up. No doubt she's used to being recognized and suspicious of who we might be.
Can I help you?
Oh god, she's fucking cool. God damn it.
This is Nora and Laszlo. I'm Polly.
Wait, she get it?
Ursula's daughter.
Wait.
From the Naiads. My mother is missing, and we were wondering if you could help us.
The young woman says nothing. Her face is shut down. Is this shock?
We know you visited her a few times at home before she disappeared.
Or she could be assessing us, trying to judge whether or not we're for real.
We were just wondering if you could tell us what you talked about. If it involved Monokonzern at all.
Jade remains silent. Suddenly, she turns her head and looks at me straight in the eye.
When did she disappear exactly? What was she like the day before? Was she acting strange?
This isn't the passionate Jade I've heard about. She feels cold, analytical. Jade, born September 15, 2008, studied literature but dropped out. Mother from Malta and father from Atina, estranged, raised by her mother. Got good grades until she dropped out of school, no stable income, writes articles for various independent publications on an irregular basis, refused offers to join Monokonzern's open employment workshops. The opposite of the energetic, driven fire starter I'd imagined.
Look, I'm sorry to press you on this. I really am, but we really need to know if you two were planning anything beyond the poetry.
She moves closer, and she's still not answering.
Who's the last person who saw her?
For a moment, I don't know what to do. But she must be asking these questions for a reason, same as us. Perhaps I need to listen to her, hear her out. An inevitable node is only active when all its conditions are cleared. This one will only activate if you collect a bliss crystal. Oh, wait. Answer Jade's questions. I think that's probably the good way to go. Power. Interrupt Jade. Or gets impatient. Oh, that one didn't have... Interesting. I answer Jade's questions as best as I can. but I have to stifle my impatience. This is getting us nowhere. Weren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions? When I do manage to get in a question, Jade just deflects with another. Every time I answer, she asks for more details. She's not being aggressive. She's defending herself, making sure we can be trusted, perhaps?
Listen to me. Don't fight her.
I know. I'm trying.
The real problem is I can see Nora crossing her arms and scowling. She's annoyed and getting dangerously close to the boiling point. So I think... Oh. Nora gets impatient. She's expected a different Jade. One with more empathy, I can understand. Have one Blizz Crystal. This node is inevitable, but must be played to unlock other nodes. So could I like... Oh, so I can't do that one. Conditions unlocked by... Try to befriend Jade? So what if I do this, does this block? Oh, it does block stuff out. It'll at least block the one on the left out. Can I look at that one? Oh, you know what? That one's blocked out because I already... Right? Where was the one that like... Okay, so we can do this one. It's not going to block anything, is it? From the corner of my eye, I can see Nora standing frozen. Her usual electric fidgeting has stilled. Jade's up close now, arms crossed, straight-backed, every bit the investigative journalist. This isn't the badass Nora expected. As Jade continues to hammer questions at us, I can see Nora's shoulders set, her face turned down. She's not just disappointed, she's getting defensive. I don't really blame her, bud. This is a delicate conversation. Can we risk her getting on edge? I only have one Bliss Crystal. So what if I go over here? So these, interestingly enough, like, usually, like, if you go one way, it completely blocks everything out. But this one, we're kind of bouncing back and forth, which seems a little weird. We don't have the power crystal. No, consequence, gain one power crystal. Take the lead or trust Jade. Wait until she's done. She'll be grateful you did. This one, I think that one's locked either way. So we're going to get 2 Bliss Crystals regardless. One power. Oh, I couldn't do the other one. I decided to go first to focus on my goal.
Really need to know why you were talking to Ursula. She told us you were interested in publishing her poetry, but given all that's happened, well, I don't think that's the half of it.
I catch Nora glancing over, eyes burning. Did I overstep the mark? Was she about to question our new friend here?
Fine. I was doing another investigation into MK, and Ursula was helping. We believe the company was dipping its toes into medical care, or a public health program. A couple of neighborhood kids said an MK agent had offered them coupons and free samples. Said it was to test a new product line. They call it egregore. They claimed...
She sighs, rubs her
It
forehead.
was going to help them with exams, stress, clarity of mind and all that.
Clarity of mind? Egregore? That feels like something out of Reverie, honestly. But how?
That's all I know.
I know why she turned to Ursula.
Wait. You contacted my mother because of her work on the Oxyons, on the history of Athena, right?
I only stumbled across them by chance. Sounds like MK tried to have them burned. But a few copies survived. They were the only other references to Egregore I've ever found.
So MK knew about Ursula all along. Are they the reason she disappeared? Okay, so I can still do this. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, so once we get here... Okay, now it's going to start blocking this path, but I don't have the 2 bliss crystals because I couldn't do this one. Okay. Oh, but I can still do this one. Jade seems more engaged now, her body language less hostile, her expression more responsive. I let her speak.
I'm not one for betting, but if I were, I'd bet this whole island that MK has their fingers in this pie.
Maybe you could... Nora said you had a huge following. Online?
Did she?
With the internet? Me and him are getting on the internet. Nora's enjoying this, I can tell.
Well, I wouldn't say huge. Sizable, though, yeah.
Could you put the word out? Through the networks? Someone might know something. Might have seen something. My mother wasn't exactly an unknown quantity in Alma. Maybe someone saw her leave?
Jade immediately looks away, refusing to meet any of our eyes.
Well, that's tricky, isn't it?
It is?
Yeah, those networks. They're the lifeblood of Athena's resistance. If I go making them a fact-finding posse, well, MK's gonna shut that down quick as you like.
That's an excuse if I've ever heard of one. She doesn't want to get involved. I mean, you don't know that. I feel like it's a pretty fair response. Okay. 1 bliss crystal, lose 1 power crystal. Have 1 power crystal, lose a bliss, and gain 2 power crystals. Now, if I go over here, do any of these... have 3... Okay, let's do this one. It's actually kind of worked out. I like that you can like tinker around with it and figure it out. I do think that like part of the downside is that it kind of spoils like what's next. Maybe they could have hidden they could have hidden more of the information to try to like just go, okay, here's what you need, but it's not like, oh, like it's supposed to be suspenseful that you're trying to get to the skate park and like, is Jade there? And then the game's like, no, just figure out it's Jade's plan or whatever's plan. Maybe it's not as obvious as I feel it is. I don't know. Nora strides forward.
Enough, all right, enough.
Uh-oh.
We've been going out of our minds with worry for days. We heard you might be the sort of person who'd want to help. Help when people are lost. But you're just digging for details. Is the story all you care about? We don't need that. Come on, Paul. If she's not gonna help us, we'll find someone who will.
Jade's a stranger to us and a journalist to boot. A hardened shell is practically a job requirement. But Nora's words have caught her off guard. She steps back, arms hanging loose at her side. Okay, so... note is inevitable. You gain 1 bond crystal, or you get 1 more bliss crystal. You know what? We'll let Nora speak. It's clear Nora has more to say, so I keep quiet. We've all been through the ringer of late. This might help her relieve some
I
pressure.
knew I shouldn't have gotten so hyped. But who you are, what you do, You seem to be doing so much good around here. I really don't have words for it, so I thought... But I understand. I'm in no position to ask for more. Let's go.
Nora.
Jay's eyes had misted over. There are tears there, welling up at the edges.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to... Oh, hell,
It's okay. It is. Don't worry about it.
The hard edge has evaporated almost completely. Jade wipes her eyes, then her nose.
The last few days, they've been a lot. Like, a lot. The last few months, even. Harder than anything I could ever imagine.
She looks up, trying to force her tears back down. Okay, and that doesn't block anything out. It's just kind of giving us bonus crystals at this point. 3 bond crystals. Nora gave you an opportunity to learn more about Jade. Bliss C, you did get what you wanted, plus you respected Jade's feelings. Lose 2 bond crystals, lose 2. You know what? Have 1 power, have 1 bliss, gain 2 bliss.
I'm sorry. Really. That was rude of me. Disrespectful. Not my intention.
No, please. It's all right. Really.
I've spent the last weeks, months actually, digging into MK's plan for this place, and I just can't take it anymore. They own everything. The systems, the records, the security. They roll over the vulnerable and suck up every resource they can. It's heinous. It's unfair. And I can't do anything to stop it. And no one gives a shit. Feels like it's just me out here sometimes, you know?
Her voice is tired. Her gaze evades ours. Even her hand gestures are weary. Jade's exhausted beyond imagination.
And I know that's not true, but it feels like it. I have people with me, sure. Friends, comrades, but it never stops. Now Ursula and... Yeah, it's all gotten a little much.
I'm sorry too.
For a moment, I wonder if Nora might hug Jade. Near stranger or not. Oh, for a moment I wonder if Nora might hug Jade, near stranger or not. From the way her arms lift, it looks like she wants to.
Guess I didn't realize I was so angry about everything. I think I'd feel the same in your shoes.
Jade actually smiles.
Thanks. It's just like...
But the smile goes away after a
I'd
second.
like to help if I can. I don't know if I'm good for anything at the moment.
Burnout's a hell of a thing.
Burnout, great game. Bring it back.
Yeah, you could say that.
Bring it back in the best way possible. Free to play, highly monetized. Okay. Oh, I got an achievement. Confidence. You managed to gain Jade's trust quickly. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, it's locked. Oh. Those got locked out somehow. Interesting. Okay. So now I guess we're up here. Keep it a secret. You guys are taking some risks here. I hope you'll be okay. 3 bliss. I thought, actually I thought I'd be able to get these. These didn't get blocked out. I'm a little confused as to why I can't do them. Because I have, so like conditions, I have them. Have one bliss crystal, which is what I have. I thought for sure I'd be able to do that. Okay, so we're here. Persuade Jade to network. Jade's mouth tightens. She made a decision. A shared burden. Collect 20 bond crystals. Oh, like that, huh? He was just introduced in this chapter, too. That's wild.
All right. I'll hit up my network.
Are you sure?
Yeah. It's still risky, but it's not like shouting the search from the rooftops. No offense.
None taken.
If MK Cotton's on, we've got a better chance of containing it if we know who knows what. It's our best option. For sure.
She looks at Nora and smiles warmly. Nora smiles back. Sounds like we have a plan. As it turns out, Jade lives near the Naiads, so we agree to walk back together. For the first time, I notice what a beautiful day it is. The sun warming my skin, the breeze flickering at loose strands of my hair. We meander through Alma, the four of us. It feels almost tranquil.
It's not easy for someone to go missing on this island. Everyone knows everyone and everything.
Alma is the historic district of Atina, known for its characteristic quaint houses and food. The original heart of the island, Alma, is an open-air museum carefully protected by Momo Corazon, or Conzern. I don't know why I said Corazon. By the heart. This district was badly damaged by the 1898 earthquake and has slowly deteriorated. A colorful maze, Alma is a great place for a stroll through the past while admiring the beautiful glass towers of the business district. Unfortunately for everyone, reconstruction projects are often delayed by a small group of anti-Mono Concern activists.
Alma's a small world. A tight-knit community. You'll find her. Problem is, you've got MK between where you are now and where you want to be. No way you're avoiding a tussle.
When I left Atina, Mono Concern was background noise, just a detail in our lives. Now they're a juggernaut, unchallenged, inescapable. I've realized I'm angry. Resentment burns in me each and every time I hear that name. We turn a corner, and the Naiads float into view. Nora crosses the path to walk alongside
You
Jade.
mentioned it before, but I think I was approached by those MK goons you mentioned.
Oh shit.
The public health project guys.
I forgot about that.
Shit. Egregore and everything.
Yeah.
Was this the job she told me about?
Listen. You didn't ask for it, but here's my advice. You see them coming again? You run.
Put them in the dirt.
Or tell them to fuck off or scream at them or whatever. But do not take their money, Nora. I'm serious.
No, yeah, I wasn't going to.
I've heard rumors. People who came back the very opposite of healthy.
Oh shit, is it like a Scanner Darkly situation?
And ones who never came back at all.
There have been other disappearances?
Hard to tell. People go missing all the time. Especially the ones society pushes to its edge.
Okay, maybe she's talking about the world in general. It's weird to hear them explain. It's weird to hear Jane explain, like, it's hard for someone to go missing on this island because it's a tight-knit community, and then almost immediately follow that up with, yeah, people disappear all the time, but if that's kind of just like a general thing, maybe it'll make it a little bit more, I guess it makes a little more sense, but it sounds contradictory at the face of it. I can tell Jade's trying to sound reasonable, but she's had to deal with so much.
Sometimes they just move on. Change cities. There are rarely any records. But recently, a lot more people than normal have gone away. And most haven't come back.
But the ones who did come back?
Said they were given this egregore stuff. Pills or injections. and that was it. Some got sick, others were fine, but no clarity of mind business.
Could this be the moment to tell the truth? No, not yet. Reverie's my burden to bear, for now. How do I bring up the aspirations without sounding like I'm having a stroke?
And bear that burden you shall. You must.
I try to ignore Power's voice, but I don't want to start acting weird and lose what little trust we've built with Jade. Not for now. Not far now. Jade gives us a nod and a wave as she heads into her building. As we turn to leave, Bliss appears alongside me. I smile at Nora and Laszlo as we walk along in companionable silence, and Bliss laughs.
Someone's been busy.
I have
Well,
been.
guess what? We've been busy too. You're not the only bunch investigating. Bond and Power and I have news.
Truth still clings to life, but they are beyond our reach alone. Even our own ties have been severed. But we are close. So very close.
Our world does not cease to be when you are not viewing it. It is imperative that you stabilize your home front quickly so that you may assist us in Reverie. Do whatever you must.
I'm trying.
We know. So, here's the plan. We can clear the way to Truth Sanctuary, but after that, we'll have to summon you. Be ready.
Okay, I don't know how to be ready, but alright. Okay. Alright, and there we go. Chapter 21 of 13. Choosing an outcome. You have reached the end of the act. It's time for you to choose an outcome. Only the ones you have unlocked with crystals you gathered are available. Close this tutorial and use A on the outcome you want to play. Oh, okay. Well, interesting. Okay, so then that's... okay. Truth's buried temple. Buried? Bond is here. So is Power.
Welcome to the domain of truth.
Someone worked hard to keep us from entering. But together, Power and I, we found a way inside.
Come, let's get this over with.
Surprised to find a cave, cold and damp. It's not at all where I imagined the aspiration of Truth would reside. Truth's buried temple. Truth's underground lake lies far away in the north of Reverie and doesn't have a bed. Its surface is a door beyond dreams that leads to the subconscious of life itself. Only Truth can stare into it and retain their sanity. The lake is a way for them to see everything and nothing as they please. The cave surrounding it acts as an echo chamber. Much like its owner, the sanctuary has remained unchanged since the very beginning of time, unaffected by cycles and shifts. Empty walls, clear water, and unfillable void. Could be how they picture facts and accuracy, cold, solid. Bond and Power survey our surroundings. Their eyes are alert, but they seem relieved. I see Truth there in the center. They are broken, shattered. I move closer, my footsteps echoing in the void without dying entirely. Even sound can't hide in here.
Power. Let us proceed.
Agreed.
To my surprise, the two of them join hands. Bond begins to sway, and to a beat I can't hear. Power joins a moment later. Soon the sway has become a foot-pounding, heart-shaking dance. Do I hear drums in the distance? The dance quickens, the movement of limbs blurring until the two aspirations are almost indistinguishable from each other. The drums grow louder, joined by a chanting that seems to come from the empty air just over my shoulder. Egregore picks up the broken shards of Truth in a kaleidoscopic whirlwind of color and substance.
It's working. Keep your distance. This may be...
A new sound emerges. A low vibration, a hum coming from the statue itself. Oh shit, yeah. Cutscene! Oh, he's giving us a little shocker there. I actually forgot there was animation in this game. When they were describing that, like the kaleidoscopic whatever, I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, on the right path. Finish Act 1. Wait, what happens? Can I... I forgot that there were like little cutscenes in there when they were describing the like kaleidoscopic thing. I was like, oh man, it'd be cool to see this. And then they did that. And I was like, oh shoot. Truth's Buried Temple. All right, so that was Act 1. Took about as long as I expected it to, if I'm being honest. I'm going to guess that this is where we will pick up. So what if we go... Progress saved from the last node you played. You know what? Let's get to the thing. Silence reigns in the cave. The new figure stands before me, regarding me with cool eyes. I hope Bliss was right, that they know where my mother is. The aspiration stirs. Stirs. Bliss, power. Bliss, bond, power. They're all here.
I am truth.
Truth is the unequivocal answer to life, setting boundaries and laws between everything that is. As a guardian of the Book of Facts, Truth keeps a record of the history of Reverie. Truth is a weaver of prophecies and all-seeing eye of Reverie, capable of predicting what will be and seeing everything that could have been. They defined the very structure of Reverie, creating the nexus out of thin air for the aspirations to coexist in. They care deeply about the fate of dreams and devote their existence to ensuring the future can come to pass.
I am the eye that sees, the unveiled, the watcher in the dark. And I am whole, once more. Thanks to you, Harmony.
That name again. No matter.
You're welcome. But please, my mother? Ursula Beauclair. Do you know where she is?
My memories remain out of reach, shattered, like my cell. Although I cannot tell you where your mother may be, I do know her fate is entwined with that of Chaos. And that it was Chaos
okay.
who incapacitated me.
Bliss is sitting on the ground, visibly annoyed by something. Bond seems to be uncomfortable, but Power stands and begins pacing, almost marching.
This is outrageous. We have tolerated this charlatan's exploits for far too long. I've told you before, Chaos would be the death of us. Always scheming and plotting against their own kin. They may have a maze, but I have an army. I'll flush him out in no time.
I don't like the sound of that at all.
No. Such violence would only widen the rift that already threatens to tear Reverie apart.
Right?
We need to listen to each other, please. Harmony. Our kin Chaos retreated to their endless maze shortly after Truth disappeared.
Yeah, Reverie's maze. The maze rose from the droplets of egregore falling from the Nexus and is a puzzle, even to us. It has long remained unexplored by us aspirations, who fear what may be lurking inside. Eventually, Chaos decided to claim it their playground, tending to plants and concealing dreams within its depths. A few aspirations refused to grant them the land, but since Chaos had never had a proper sanctuary, those aspirations were voted down. Most of us still don't know how or why this labyrinth came to be, I should say.
Now we know why.
That maze. Is it impenetrable?
It's a labyrinth of trickery and tomfoolery built by a coward. I'd go in there myself, only
Only we cannot enter an aspiration's domain without being invited.
and that charlatan will never let us in. They will refuse to fight face to face.
That's enough. Chaos may be unbound, but the secret to their return is consensus, not division.
Bond is correct. War is an engine of strife, and in direct opposition to our needs. And may I remind you, we have other matters to attend to. Our realm lies in tatters, a shadow of itself. Glory refuses reason at every turn. We must decide where our attention is most required.
I need to remind them of my own goal.
I have to find my mother. For the sake of my own family.
Did I speak too frankly? They seem surprised.
I hope you understand.
Certainly. It is the logical choice. But I would suggest that a search for Chaos and a search for Ursula may well be one and the same.
Oh, shit.
I don't understand. Why would they be linked? What aren't you telling me?
Not a single one of them can look me in the eye. Another secret, another closed door I need to pry open with my bare hands.
I may have a mutually beneficial solution. May. As I say, my memory remains treacherous. Go home. Await the coming of tomorrow. And we will see if fate guides us true.
Fate?
The laugh. The laugh escaping my throat hurts.
Fate is an easy word to throw around. I'll wait for tomorrow.
I am pleased.
The other aspirations look set to launch into their own sales pitches, but I've made up my mind. I bid them farewell, close my eyes, and plunge back down the rabbit hole to Brittle. I'm back at the Naiads. Traveling between the two realms is always a brief and uneventful affair. Wait, I'm not alone. Something fogs my vision, a popping, crackling sensation that could only be...
Well, that was a pretty mess, wasn't it?
Chaos. I don't understand. Bond said you were hiding, so how are you here? Now?
Hiding? I'm not hiding. I'm out here relaxing, taking a load off, escaping the rat race. You've seen the others. Can you blame me? Doesn't mean I can't talk to you, though, you lucky thing.
But why? Why won't you work with them then?
Because they've got it all wrong, you see?
I am chaos, as much as truth is truth and power is power.
Chaos, a master of trifles and a cosmic designer. Chaos is both none and everything all at once. The oldest aspiration. They are the spark that birthed Reverie. They are also the one who can change it. None of this matters to Chaos, however. They are the aspiration of the present, and neither the past nor the future matters to them. The rawest and yet most complex incarnation of dreams. Chaos is unpredictable, free, and always in search of something to create or destroy.
They aren't just names, my dear. I'm not hiding from you. I'm just in a place that requires effort to reach. Live your life by my name. I'm sure we'll see each other soon. Bye-bye for now.
Okay. And they're gone, taking their riddles with them. Live your life by my name. They're offering me another path, right? Whatever's coming my way, I need a break. It's late. I'm tired and anxious about whatever truth has planned for tomorrow. Time to eke out whatever rest I can manage. Heart screen. Okay. This is the heart screen. Oh, interesting. It shows the number of crystals you have collected throughout the story. Aspirations need Egregore to extend their influence over Brittle. Collecting their crystals fills up the gauge that represents their need for Egregore. Fills up the gauge, okay. You can press LB to open this screen at any time on the Egregore. Influence. Filling in Aspiration's need for Egregore completely will change Atina's destiny. Will you choose a companion? Or will you try to maintain balance between the forces ruling both Reverie and Brittle? So 3, 1, 20, 0. Oh, no glory. Interesting. Alright, Act 2, Chapter 1. Oh, shoot. Alright, so what do we have here? Got a lot going on. So 20 of 7. I already have an ending unlocked, which is weird. 1 of 17, 0 of 23. Okay. That's kind of wild that I already have one. But there were a couple of spots in the... were a couple of spots where I got, like, big jumps. So let's do this. Oh, interesting. Going kind of way out in the middle. Bringing it back in. Okay. Now we have 5 different crystals to manage here. Interesting. Then you can go to the heart screen. Agricole. Okay. The quest for chaos. Alright, well, we will take a look at Act 2 next time on Harmony. Whatever the heck the rest of this game is. The Fall of Reverie. Right here on youtube.com/OnosaurusRex. When that video will post, I don't know. You'll have to scroll down, subscribe, ring the bell, and that way you'll be notified when it goes live. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I'm having a great time with it. I like the visual novel stuff. Really happy that there's a ton of voice acting because, boy, it would be difficult in my throat. But, very good so far. Really enjoying it. The plot really thickened there. I thought that the pace picked up a little bit, and I like that we didn't have to really worry about the Reverie stuff for a while. They kind of let the stuff about her mother kind of push forward here and gave some more stuff about MK and some other things going on in like the real world. And then right at the end, they brought it back here, introduced a few new characters, yeah, gave me an opportunity to get more information, to invest more fully in the world, and there you go. So that first act took about 2.5 hours-ish. So probably, I mean, I think 10 hours is a fair guesstimate for how long it would take. But there you go. We will start Act 2, and I would guess that Act 2 will most likely be the full act, but who knows? So there you go. We'll have a few more parts of this coming up on the channel sometime soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.